started. All right then. Yo, what up? It's the Casual and Chill Crew podcast. It's your boy HBK Vakora. Got the squad with me today. Great Grandmaster Guru, cause I guess he's been out there training, so he not just Guru anymore. He Grandmaster Guru. I don't know when you got your new title. I'm a little surprised, but anyway, you got the homie Isaiah Vane. You know what I'm saying? Pulling up. You got just Josh in the motherfucking building. And you got the homie Mellow
Yep,
Blood with
yep.
us. Yes, sir. I need to pay attention to this chat because I know I seen you popping over here. Oh, okay. Fresh artwork in the chat. I see you, Isaiah. Easy. But
Ooh.
what is up, y'all?
Hey, I do need to watch that new series.
It's been a minute. It has been a minute since we've been potting. So what is up?
Yeah, who want to go first?
I'll start because I ain't got a whole lot to talk about. I just been playing Elden Ring and getting my ass beat. They turned Elden Ring into a roguelike. And this shit is hard. But it's fun though. But it's hard though. You're gonna get mad, you're gonna be glad, it's gonna bring out all the emotions. You might even break something.
I believe it.
New controller. I broke my last
But
one.
every once in a yeah. Oh yeah, speaking of, didn't they just come out with Ultron?
Yeah, he dropped and he's changing the game. I'm not gonna lie. He's already annoying.
Why is he annoying?
Well, I don't like flyer characters. So like I like Storm. So I'll play with Storm, but outside of that, I don't like any of the flyers. You got Iron Man and you got like Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch can
Johnny
fly,
Storm.
Johnny Storm, you know what I'm saying? Star Lord, all of them.
Yeah.
And whenever someone's flying in the air, it's hard to hit them. So it's like I just don't like playing characters like that. Ultron lives in the sky. And he could shoot clones. So it's like when you think you're shooting him, you're really not. And it's pretty annoying.
Oh, that's clean.
He's not
That's
like
kind of.
the
I'm not gonna lie. I
strongest
kind of like
character.
that.
He's not the strongest character in the world, but like the way his playstyle is like he could throw a little clone out so he could like double the damage he's doing, and then like he could throw out little support clones so he's like he can equip one of his little drone thingies to one of his players and it like heals them or it'll shoot around him. You know what I'm saying? And then his ult, he just makes like 3 or 4 more versions of him, and they're all spamming whatever he's doing. You know what I'm saying? So he's pretty dope.
And if they hit an ally, they heal.
Yeah, if they hit an ally, they heal, but if they hit an enemy, they do damage. So I'm like, he's not OP, but he's annoying. He is very annoying. But yeah, man, I've been hearing that there's gonna be some new X-Men characters dropping soon, so I'm looking forward to who's popping up next. That's what I'm excited about. I've been wanting more X-Men characters since the game dropped.
If you could have any 2 X-Men in the game, and I'll answer the same question, that aren't already in the game, who would you add?
Cyclops, right off the bat. And the second one would be Gambit.
Both classics.
Yep. Gambit's like my favorite.
For me, it would be my favorite X-Men too, but she's only my favorite X-Men in the comics. But it's Kitty Pryde.
Oh yeah, she's a badass in the comics.
The one that phases. Yeah, in the comics, as far as the comics goes, she's my favorite X-Men. My favorite new X-Men, though, is another female character. Her name's Armor.
I heard
And Armor can kind of create like Yeah, she can kind of create like a hard light construct made out of armor that like makes her basically super strong and immune to most types of damage.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think they should add some of the newer X Men characters in there because like Magic made the game, and Magic is one of the newer X Men's or whatever. Like she's been around, but like she's considered newer class. And there are some other X Men that have popped up that I think are pretty dope that are worth getting some spotlight. There's one that I want to call out specifically. His name is Kid Omega, and
Oh yeah.
he's got crazy powers. He dies a bunch of times. He's kind of like Kenny from South Park. People are always getting him killed, but his psychic powers are so crazy that like they keep him alive. You know what I'm saying? And at one point there was like a future version of him and a younger version of him. So his future version of him was teaching his younger version like how to use his powers way crazy. But yeah, Kid Omega is kind of cool.
Mm.
I think
Is
he's
that
worth popping up on some new stuff. You know
is
what
that
I'm
the topic?
saying? Bro,
Hmm.
the comics go crazy. I'm looking forward to what Marvel's gonna do with the X Men movies because I always wanted to see a good X Men movie. You know what I'm saying? Not the ones that we got back in the day were bad. They were good for their time. I just don't feel like they held up.
Nah. Fox. Fox is bad.
Fox, they messed it
I
up.
thought those were yeah,
They messed it up bad.
I
But like
I
for the
enjoyed
time,
them. I still like them for what they were, but it could have been better.
for sure.
I'll never forgive Fox for what they did to Darwin.
Yeah,
Oh,
that see, look, that's when they were
oh,
4 or 5 movies in though, and that was unforgivable. But that first X Men movie, pretty decent. You know what I'm saying? It held, you know what I'm saying? The second one, I think that's the one I like the most, if my memory serves right. And then you had X Men, the Wolverine origins. That's where they screwed Deadpool over. So you know, it took them like
Yeah.
yeah.
3 movies before they started fucking shit up. But yeah, I always wanted to
Yeah.
see
Those
Marvel
movies to me,
do a better version. But yeah, what were you gonna say?
yeah, definitely. To me, those movies are always like good and bad. Like I love them for the time, but then like looking back on it, they're like, do you know what happens to a toad that's struck by lightning? Oh my
Oh man.
god.
Yeah, see, but like that's what I'm saying. They just didn't hold up. But if we're getting anything like what has been going down on the X Men comics, I'm looking forward to what the X Men movies could hold because just Krakoa alone, Krakoa in the X book or in the X Men comic books, that was a huge thing. That was like
Crazy.
the second coming of X Men because uh everybody remembers what X Men was like back in the day, especially from the cartoon show or whatever. But when the X Men went to
Hmm.
Krakoa, it was just so crazy, man, because you removed all the humans and all the like racist people. It wasn't about that anymore. It was about, yo, there are so many mutants here that we don't know what to do with them, and they're so happy to like be living in their own diplomatic like country and all that stuff that now we got new political things to worry about. And now it's like, what are the rules for this country? You can't kill humans because they still wanted to like maintain peace and all that stuff. But how do you punish people that break the rules? You know what I'm saying? Because like we don't want to be like the humans,
Right.
so we don't want to like lock you up in jail or kill you, you know, based on what you did. But like we still got to punish you. So they had their own version, and that's what it was. That was the coolest part of Krakoa to me, was seeing how a different country handled all of their like problems and stuff like that. Because they were coming up with like all types of crazy stuff. They had the cure for cancer, but they didn't give it to the people, which was crazy. You know what I'm saying? And like the U.S. and everybody found out about that, and that's why they wanted to beef with these and go to war with Krakoa because they were like, "Yo, you're hiding like world secrets from us and keeping that to yourself. And they were like, well, that's our discovery. You know what I'm saying? That's our creation. We don't have to share that with you. This is our race. You know what I'm saying? And it just opened up the door for so much different types of stories. You know what I'm saying? I had told the homie Shy Pooper when we were on his podcast, I was telling them about how they had a comic book where it was just pretty much talking about like how they did their birthing system, because there was so much sex going on over in Krakoa. Everybody was having sex with everybody, and because of that, they were popping out babies left and right because these people are mutants. So their body develops differently and stuff like that. So there was people having babies like after 1 month. You know what I'm saying? There was people that was popping out like 12 babies at one time because these are mutants. So the world Krakoa started getting overpopulated, and they had built this uh it was like a plant farm type thing. It was a botanical garden. Exactly. They built a botanical garden that would it would eat the children, but not like eat them and digest them, but it would like put them in these little tubes, these little incubator things, and it would like age them up so that they would skip their childhood phase. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, this newborn baby popped out, and we don't got nobody to raise this baby, so we're just gonna put them in this incubator for like 3 weeks, and then they're gonna pop out, and they'll be 12 years old, and they'll be, you know, strong enough, smart enough to take care of themselves. And it was like a whole system that ran off of the plants that were grown on Krakoa, because the plants would grow into those incubator things, and it was just crazy types of stuff that they were like talking about when at Krakoa. And eventually, what happened was somebody like bombed it or some shit like that. This war happened, and Krakoa got destroyed, so they all had to come back to the real world. You know what I'm saying? But that was like a thing for like 3 or 4 years in the comic books, where they were just living it up. Everybody was having sex orgies and shit like that. But there was also like camaraderie amongst all mutants for the first time ever. Professor Xavier and Magneto were best friends, and they were on the same side for like the first time ever. You know what I'm saying? And all types of people like that. People that were enemies were now working together. But yeah, anyway, if we get
Yeah,
anything like that from the Marvel movies, it would be dope. I don't think we're going to, because you know you got to focus on X-Men first before you do the crazy stuff. But if X-Men takes off and is successful, I think we very well could get something, you know what I'm saying, within that realm where they try to like pay homage to that.
it would be pretty wild.
They kind of did it
I'd be happy.
in the new X-Men 97 series. I don't want to spoil the episode. If you've seen the new season of X-Men 97, you already know. But I think it's like episode 4, episode 5, some crazy shit goes down. That's all I'll say. And it that's kind of like paying homage to the Krakoa story. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that was a tangent. I didn't mean to get, you know, stuck on X-Men, but I'm excited for the new movies, to be real, because Disney's been doing bad for a while. Let's keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying?
Keep it a band.
When's the last time they had a good movie? I would love for X-Men to be that good movie. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
It's crazy, but yeah.
All
They've
right.
been slacking, bro.
Well, look, let's get into today's main topic. After that, we could talk about whatever we want. But the question of the day, because the title of the day is called Misguided Faith. So the question of the day
Hmm.
is this: when is a time that you put faith in someone and they let you down? When is the time
When is the time?
you had complete faith in this person, and they just did not show up that time? You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, I'm gonna go first, and I'm gonna bring up something that just happened recently. So, DreamCon. Me and Guru was supposed to go to DreamCon with another homie of mine.
Mm.
The homie said, "I'm gonna keep his name oblivious just for the for the purposes of the story." But the homie was like, "Yeah, we can all go." You know what I'm saying? I said I'll buy the ticket, so you know, blah blah blah. We'll all get out there, and you know what I'm saying, stay for a couple days, go to DreamCon, all that. Guru said he was with it. You know what I'm saying? And the other homie said he was with it as well. He was like, you know what? I even got the car rented. We got the car rented instead of you let me know when we trying to go. You know what I'm saying? So I hit him up. I hit him up like a week after when I was trying to plan everything out. He did not answer the phone. So I texted him. I'm like, yo, bro, let me know if you still want to go on that trip. He said, oh, yeah, I got you. I was like, all right, cool. Maybe he's just busy. 3 days go by. I said, yo, bro, you still haven't hit me back about this trip yet. So just let me know if you need anything. I'm going to buy the tickets. And, you know what I'm saying? As long as you got the car, we good to go. He said, yeah, man, everything's good to go. In fact, I got my other homie. He want to come with us. I said, oh, all right, cool. Let me know, if I could buy these tickets. You know what I'm saying? I just needed the confirmation that he was going, but he never said, yeah, I'm going. He was just like, yeah, man, I got it if you need. Like, I got the rental car set up if you need it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me know when you're trying to go, because But I'm just like, but you're not telling me. You're not telling me that you're good to go. You know what I'm saying? You're not telling me that we can go. So I never bought the tickets. Because I said I refuse to spend all this money and then be sitting here with these tickets in my hand, and now we don't got no way up there. So fast forward to the day of Comic-Con. I had already given up by then. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just like, homie didn't hit me up. I asked him like 4 or 5 times. I said, screw it. I'm not spending my money. I just keep the money in my pocket and call it a L. You know what I'm saying? I stopped asking Guru about it because by this point, you know what I'm saying, I was just like, oh yeah, we're not going. Tell me why he hit me up. He said, yo, what's up with this trip, bro? Are we still going or what? You know what, bro? I've been waiting for you to call me. I said, oh my God. Are
That's
you
fucking
serious?
funny.
You can't be serious right now. You know, I didn't text back.
Bruh.
I didn't text back because I just looked at it like, are you serious? I had complete faith in homie that he was gonna be our ride. You know what I'm saying? Because we were trying to figure out the whole. We gotta have money out while we're out there. We had a spot to stay. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna buy the tickets. We was gonna have food on deck. All of that. And the only thing I was relying on homie for was to come through with the rental car, because he said at the beginning of said play, oh yeah, bro, I got you. You know what I'm saying? So like, it was misguided faith.
Man.
But yeah, that's my story. I'm gonna let y'all tell y'all.
Shit. um, it's kind of hard for me to. It's kind of hard for me to come up with this story because it is common, but it's old for me. Like any story I would tell would be mad old.
Well, look, old stories work
Shit, at
too.
least you
You
can
know what I'm
review
saying? I got plenty of older stories I could have pulled out, but I just wanted to do something recent because I was just like, man, it's left me hanging.
Alright. Misguided trust. All right, I got one. I got one. It's a little fucked up, but it's not that fucked up. But all right, so I'm gonna speed run this bitch though. So I had met this little shawty. She liking the nigga and everything. You know, we kicking it, we cooling it like every damn day and shit. And you know, shit seems cool. Shit seems real. Now, the fucked up part about this is that shawty like me, and she's the homie's best friend. So, you know, quote unquote. So I'm like, all right. Homie said he don't want her because I did the bro code. I asked, I was like, yo, bro, is she free game? What's up? Because she be at the crib. She asking the nigga if she want to watch a scary movie and shit. I'm like, I know what that means. If a shawty trying to ask me if she watch a scary movie, shawty, I know you finna get hands.
She trying to
So,
watch Jumanji. Nah, I'm joking.
nah, so we get the cooling and shit. She, you know, shit go by. So, like, we spend a little more time together. And, like, at this time, we had one roommate. He's no longer our roommate right now. But, I gotta go do these appointments like every week. So I go to my appointment, and bro hit me with a message, was like, "Hey yo, what's up with you and Shorty?" And I'm like, "Well, I know Shorty like me and all. I ain't really made nothing official. We just cooling and shit." She was like, "Oh," he was like, "Because I done found Shorty, you know, coming behind a closed door with the Brody right now." I was like, "Oh, okay." So my thing is this: maybe it's self inflicted, but I like to give people the chance and opportunity to come clean. I gave Shorty like 2-3 days to try to come clean. She didn't even want to come clean about it. I came home that day already knowing the information. She tried to act like it's all normal. I didn't talk to the old girl for like 2 days, and she asked me what was wrong. And I was like, all right, this is what it is, this, and this. And then she tried to play all oblivious. She told the Brody. Me and the Brody had to have a little bro talk about the shit. He was upset about his feelings was hurt about some shit. But I'm still like, bro, nah, nigga. How you gonna make a situation where you guys fucked up at about you? Nigga, nah, fuck that. But yeah, misguided trust. So I gave Charlie all my trust, thinking that she was gonna be cool. She wasn't gonna be cool. Was she remorseful about it? Was she sorry about it? I doubt it. You know, motherfuckers really be sorry that they got caught, not sorry that they did it. But hey, that is my thing.
Look, was Meg sorry? Was Meg sorry?
Hell no. Nah. And I've been been on that hill for 10 toes. Tori didn't do it.
Man, look.
I don't care what
Facts.
Look, I gotta tell y'all about
Big
something
facts.
that happened to me like maybe 2 weeks ago. And it has something to do with that Meg and Tory case. One of my friends on Facebook blocked me because she was standing 10 toes down that Meg the Stallion did nothing wrong. She said Tory Lanez deserved every single one of those 10 years that he's gonna serve in jail. And she didn't care at all that he got stabbed up. She was laughing about it and shit like that. I was like, yo. I was like, at the end of the day, I said, I don't really care for Tory Lanez. Never did. You know what I'm saying? I am strongly on the fence that a lot of that stuff that happened that night was because he was wilding. You know what I'm saying? Why would you bring the two girls that you smashing at the same time to the same event like that? Like that's crazy that you thought you could get that off and thought that you could talk to Kylie at the same part. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, some people are bold. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he was feeling himself, and I understand that. You know what I'm saying? I got an ego as well. But it just looked crazy to me that you were trying to get that off in the first place. And that's why I'm just like, well, you know what I'm saying? Do you deserve to go to prison, though? Nah. And especially if Meg is lying on you. And that's the big thing that I've been asking. I was asking this before the information came out. I said, hey, before Tory Lanez even got stabbed, I said, look, what if, because I was always on the fence that Tory was not the shooter. I thought that the best friend, Kelsey, was the one that was shooting, right? That's not what I think anymore, by the
It's
way.
what the evidence would.
But yes, that's
The
what
evidence kind of seems like she did.
That's what the evidence was pointing to in my mind. So that's what I always thought. But basically, I was asking this. I said if it was proven, if it could be proven that Meg the Stallion knew that Tory Lanez did not shoot her and lied about that, do you think she should have to go to jail? And surprisingly,
Yes.
yeah, most people agreed with me. I was like, okay, cool. But guess who didn't? Guess who didn't? Old girl that was standing
Who
10 toes
didn't?
down for Meg the Stallion. She said, I don't give a fuck what you think happened. Meg said what happened, and this is how it played out in court. So because we all went to court and because it all played out, we all saw what happened. That's what happened. And I'm going to believe all victims.
And that's the dark side of democracy.
She said believe all
She's
victims.
delusional.
So I would like to create this hashtag right now. Never believe all victims. Hashtag never believe all victims. And you can hate me for that. I don't care. I just want the truth to be revealed because it's people hide behind the lies. And when it comes to certain scenarios, let's just use this Meg the Stallion, Tory Lanez case as the example, because if you get into other stuff, it can get dicey. But in this scenario, I refuse to believe the victim because it's already been proven before she got on the stand when she was talking to Gayle King or whatever in that interview that she was a liar. It was already proven on the body cams when she was talking to the police that she was a liar. So, if you ask me, the only reason the case played out the way that it did, there's three things that played a factor. One, Tory Lanez did not take the stand. Everybody looks innocent when they don't speak for themselves. So there's a level, everybody looks guilty when they don't speak for themselves. So there's a level of guilt that was thrown on his character in the minds of the jury or whatever, and the people in the courtroom when he refused to take the stand and speak for himself. It just makes you look guilty. That's one thing. But I'm gonna bring up the second point, and I'm gonna tie the second point into the first point. So the second point is that there were people that were setting him up to fail from the jump. Because allegedly, and I don't know if this has been proven, but I've seen 2 or 3 people talking about this online on YouTube or whatever. Teaser Tells was one of them. But Tory Lanez's lawyer was a lady that had history with Rock Nation, and I think she used to work with Rock Nation. So it's like you're in a case against a Rock Nation employee, you know what I'm saying? So Rock Nation is defending Meg Stallion. And your lawyer is someone who also worked for that same company. That's a conflict of interest. And because of that, I believe that Tory Lanez could have been given bad counsel, such as, hey, you don't need to take the stand. We got this case under wraps, you know what I'm saying? Another part that plays into that, Tory Lanez's bodyguard was supposed to go on the stand and speak. But due to how chaotic that case was, the Meg the Stallion's defense team was representing her horribly. So bad that people were saying this is probably just going to be a mistrial and everybody's going to walk. So because the case was so bad to begin with, I believe Tory Lanez could have been given bad counsel again, where they say, hey, you don't need your bodyguard to testify because we got this in a bag already based on everything that they already fumbled. You know what I'm saying? So you can make the argument that Tory Lanez's team was so confident that they were going to win that they didn't play their full hand like they should have or could have. So those two things play a big factor. But the third thing that I think it was what sealed his fate was that confession video where they got him on the phone or whatever, and he's like, yo, I just want to say I'm sorry for everything that happened. because blah blah blah, things get out of hand. The jury saw that and took that as a confession of guilt to the crime. But if you listen to if you listen to that phone call, he never once admitted to shooting anybody. So it's like there's context to it. I feel like he was apologizing for how the night played out. But an untrained eye would probably say, "Oh, he's
Yeah.
apologizing because he shot." You know what I'm saying? And so I think that phone call really, really did him in. But it was that phone call mixed in with the fact that homie never took the stand, so he already kind of looks shady, kind of looks guilty. You know what I'm saying? And he just didn't get the fair shake he was supposed to. There might have been some people that were in on it. I heard there were some people that were paid off to say certain things. The witness specifically was saying before he went into the court was saying, "Hey, Tory didn't shoot the kid. What I saw was some girl shooting at blah blah blah." And then he goes into the courtroom. Rock Nation, their side or whatever, they have a special meeting with him. He goes up. He goes into a room with the lawyer from Meg The Stallion's team, talks to them for like 5 minutes, and then when he comes out, he's singing a different tune of, "Yeah, Tory shot the gun was in his hand," and blah blah blah. So there are people that believe he was paid off because he was saying a completely different story before he pulled up. And then now we'll take it to the current part. You got all this new evidence popping up that's proven his evidence, or that's proven Tory Lanez' innocence. So I take it all the way back to my friend who wanted to stand 10 toes down that Meg was innocent. I have been laughing at her inside of like my spirit for the last couple days because I'm just like, yo, this bitch is so wrong. This is like, I have never seen someone have so much misguided faith in an individual.
I think that she doesn't care whether or not she's right or wrong. She doesn't care whether or not he actually did it. I know that sounds weird, but the reason I say that is because basically I was at Walmart after the Drake and Kendrick thing happened. And there was this girl at Walmart, well, this woman at Walmart that had on a Drake shirt. And I'm like, dang, like after all this stuff kind of like came out about Drake, you still like riding for Drake? Like I didn't say that to her. I was just thinking it because I don't know this woman. And then it made me realize, like, you know what? It doesn't matter. He can go and kill somebody right in front of her. She's still gonna be his biggest fan.
Yeah, that's
God.
real.
And it's like that. And it's like that.
Yeah.
So that girl, it doesn't matter whether or not, like, it doesn't matter, like, to her, it doesn't matter whether he did it or not. It's not important.
You know what? It's funny though. It's not important to me either whether he did it or not. I was always more focused on was Meg lying or not, because my whole thing is this. In her testimony, she said, "I know you shot me, Tory Lanez. I know you shot me, but how could you know that if your back was turned when the gun went off?"
Yeah.
How could you possibly know who shot you if you didn't see who shot you? Crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Meg because she got a new anime. Meg The Stallion's got a new anime dropping on Amazon Prime. And she said it's gonna be an anime that you've never seen before. Like an anime like you've never seen before. So I'm a fan of anime. I want to give her that chance. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no type of jury, no type of judgment figure. I'm not the police, none of that. So like whether she's guilty or not in my eyes, none of that matters. You know what I'm saying? I want to see this anime that she's making. Because if it's
I don't.
trash, if this anime is trash, I'm telling you, bro, she's gonna be out the door. Because people aren't gonna let her ruin music. That you ruined Tory Lanez's career, hands down. You cannot debate that. She ruined Tory Lanez's career, and so I can't let you ruin music and ruin anime in two different. Nah, I'm not letting you get that off. You know what I'm saying? You better be good. This anime better be like nothing I ever seen before, and maybe I'll forgive you. You know what I'm saying?
That's wild.
Well, lying on the stand is kind of wild. If we gonna keep it a buck.
Lying on the stand is illegal and punishable by law.
So we should be able to. We should look into whether or not it could be proven if she lied on the stand or not. If she didn't lie, if she honestly just didn't know, then leave her alone. Leave her alone. If it was just her honest opinion the whole time, I could have sworn that Tori shot me. That's what I truly believed. Then okay, but I don't think that's the case. I really don't. I think she knew what she was doing. I think it was a setup. I don't think she was the mastermind, but that opens the door to who was the mastermind. And when I keep dropping Rock Nation, you know what I'm saying? It just makes me feel like that's the direction we should look in. And I'm not gonna lie, some other dude has already been doing it. There is a channel called Ticket TV. This dude is in the loop. I promise you. He knows what's going on. He will tell you some stuff 2 or 3 days before it starts breaking around the news. He'll say something 2 or 3 days. It'll pop up later on TMZ, and TMZ is like the source. So he is the source, the source that TMZ sources from. This guy knows a lot. And one of the things he was saying was that, like, he looked into the CEO or there's some chick that like co-runs the company, the Rock Nation company, and she was using all types of money assets or whatever to ruin her stepson's life or whatever. Her daughter married this dude or whatever, and she was trying to like break them up. So she was throwing all types of lawsuits on that guy, and all of them were like proven to be false because the daughter herself was saying like, my mother is just lying and manipulating and trying to do all this stuff. Like, none of that happened. I'm the victim in the documents, and I'm telling you that none of that happened. Now you could say, she's being trained or she's being told to not to say that or blah blah blah, and that opens the door for all of that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm only saying this. We should look into Rock Nation at this point because they've been doing some things behind closed doors. But can't be proven. Can't be proven.
Gotcha. Yeah, innocent until proven guilty.
Facts.
That motherfucker.
He said, what did he say? He said, lost my homie for a decade. He never told. Who you gonna tell? We top of the totem pole.
Is that a Jay-Z bar?
It is.
It sounds like one.
It is.
Sounds like full shadow. Cool.
Nah, but
yeah.
Hey, no. Outside of that, Young Master Vakora, what's that info you got on the Diddy trials? You been watching that?
Oh man, look, Diddy's nasty. That's the update. That is the update that y'all need. Diddy is
That's all we need to know.
Diddy is a freaky dude. You know what I'm saying? But
freaky ass nigga.
basically, this is what I saw today. Cause like I be zoning in and out of that. Like I want to know what's going on, but some of that stuff is just so graphic and so disgusting. It is just like, come on, like, yo, I'm eating right now. You know, you know what I'm saying? It just pops up so vulgar that sometimes I cannot deal with what's going on. But I seen something this
So
morning that was saying whatever was happening in court today, they was talking about a second victim, victim number 2, who I believe she might have been the reason that they went and, from basically what I was seeing or whatever, the way I interpreted it, she was the reason that Diddy got picked up when he did. Because if you take it back to before Diddy got arrested, he was walking around and like waving at people, riding bikes, signing autographs with fans and stuff. And that was after his house got raided, because they raided his house, but they didn't arrest him. You know what I'm saying? He agreed that he was going to turn himself in. So if he was going to turn himself in, why did they arrest him? Well, allegedly, he was still trying to set up freak offs while he had everything going on with it. So he had set up a session with one of his victims, I guess victim number 2, and I believe the feds swooped in there because she was supposed to be meeting him in a hotel and blah blah blah. They were gonna call their escort, and however they do all the stuff, you know what I'm saying? But from what I believe happened, the feds stormed up in the hotel, snatched the girl out of there, and they got all the information from her. Like, oh well, when's he gonna pull up? When are the people that are involved? You know what I'm saying? Like, how long has he been setting, like, planning all this stuff up or whatever? And they just went and snatched him up because they were like, yo, this dude is a menace. This dude's a risk to the public. Or I don't know what they said when they snatched him up, but that's why I guess they snatched him up, because he was still trying to mess around
They said
and do his thing.
they they said he's a diddler and he's diddling.
Yeah,
We gotta stop.
someone's got to put a stop
We got
to that.
we gotta stop. We
But
gotta
then
stop the diddle. Hey, diddle, diddle.
but then look, supposedly, Cassie was back to dating Naomi at this time. So remember how she came out with the lawsuit and blah blah. You better pay me this hush money and blah, all that stuff. I guess after all of that, Cassie went back and was still trying to talk to this dude. Still trying to like have a freak off.
damn.
So I'm like, look, I've always said it from the beginning, bro. Cassie is not 100% innocent in this, but you know she was a victim, and we cannot overlook that part. But man, she looks half as bad as Diddy. You can't look as bad as Diddy, but she looks half as bad on the stand. And you know what's crazy is you can't even say anything negative about her. Some people can't even have a honest, biased, or constructive criticism opinion about her, because you get all these people who, whoa, how dare you? You don't know anything about what a victim has to go through. And when someone's been through a traumatizing experience, you got all these people like trying to protect her and all that stuff. But I'm just like, nah, I'm not trying to hear
Yeah,
that.
I agree with you.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I understand she's
I
a
agree with
victim,
you
but
100%.
she was doing some crazy stuff. And to be real, she was talking just as vulgar as the things that they were saying about Diddy. So look, I don't know if you heard about one of the, but they were like, yo, Diddy likes Cassie to go have sex with someone else and then like pour the other dude's jizz on Diddy's nipples. That's what Diddy was into, was Cassie pouring
That's
jizz
wild.
on his nipples. That's a crazy thing to say, right? That's what they're saying about Diddy. Let me tell you something that Cassie said out of her own mouth. She said, I was sucking so much dick every day that I got scars and blisters on my tongue.
Ugh.
Crazy. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Crazy,
crazy
crazy
work.
work. And let's not forget what she said, I'm always ready to freak off. That to me has been one of the craziest things that has been said the entire case. She said that in the text message, so it's not like she said it out loud or whatever, but like the fact that you texted that now that we all know what freak offs are, she said she was always down to freak off. That is wild. You know what I'm saying?
That is wild.
But
Hell no. To the no, no, no.
she's not on trial here. You know what I'm saying? She's like, so I'm gonna keep it light. You know what I'm saying? That's light for me. I did kind of go in on her a little bit, but I'll leave her alone. You know what I'm saying? Because she's not the one we're here for. That boy Diddy is done. He's gonna be in jail for life. I even seen they said
Ugh.
if it's a mistrial or a hung jury, that's what he was hoping for, to get out on a hung jury and then get some free time out on bond or some shit like that. But I've seen something that said if it's a mistrial or a hung jury, they don't care. He's staying in jail until the next court case because they were like he's too much of a risk. There is absolutely zero way he's getting out of prison, which is the way it should be.
Uh,
They said when this nigga dies and is reincarnated, that baby is to immediately be sent to jail.
Look, they talking about sending his kids to jail right along with him.
yeah. Oh yeah. They've been doing some wild shit.
They said throw the whole family away. Throw the whole family away.
I
Damn.
was gonna like I was gonna say the craziest part about the whole trial to me is the fact that the family's in a row listening to all of this. I'm like, that's some wild shit to have to hear about your pop.
Yes, man. This dude has two young daughters, right? I don't know how old they are. I just seen them pull up in the case. I don't want to throw their age or nothing out there. But to hear that your dad likes to order male prostitutes to have sex with your mom while he watches, that is a crazy thing to have to hear and interpret inside of court. You know what I'm saying? If you never knew what your mom and
Right.
dad were up to before,
You know now.
you know what I'm saying?
You don't know, now you know.
Wild. Well, I don't know if those are Cassie's kids, so let me not put that on her. But regardless, those are Diddy's kids. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Hearing that
Those
your
are Diddy's
dad
kids.
is going around doing all that wild stuff, like, how could you? Okay, look, I'm trying. I have the answer. I was gonna say, how could you look at someone and talk to? How could you look at your dad and talk to your dad the same way? The answer is if you can look at him without judging him. And so that's what I was gonna. If you don't judge him for anything that he did, then I understand how you could still, talk to him and see him as human. See him as your. But we are currently judging him on trial, so it is hard. It is hard to see him as a regular individual, cause like they'll try to play clips that humanize him, and those clips don't come off the way they're supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Because he's been so demonized already. They had played a clip of him with his baby daughter or whatever, and they were like, "Yo, this is a family man. This is a father of." You know what I'm saying? He's just trying to take care of his kid. But then they play the clip, and he's just like, you know what I'm saying? And the girl will kiss him on the lips, and everybody's like, You know what I'm saying? Like, that's an innocent
Dang.
gesture.
Diabolical work.
That's an innocent gesture if you see that from any other father. You know what I'm saying? But because he's been so demonized, you can't even see that as normal anymore. You know what I'm saying? Not with him. Like
Yeah.
it's just it's wild. It's wild. That's all I'm saying. And to be dead honest, I think I think we are only halfway through it. I think we're still like maybe 3 or 4 more weeks that we're gonna hear about Diddy before this
I
case
have
is
to put
done.
it on a little bit more why you don't know it. After you go through
What up, Vosto?
What's up?
Not
What's
much.
poppin', bruh?
We chilling.
What's going on?
We over here podding.
Oh yeah, we podding.
But but what you been up to? Let's get off of the Diddy topic. What have you been up to, Vosto?
I came into the Diddy topic. All right.
No,
Nah,
we're
me,
done with the
nothing
Diddy
much,
topic.
man.
We done.
I know. That's why I said
This is depressing.
nothing much, bro. I've been home. My fucking license expired, so I'm trying to get that back, so I could go back to work.
That's real.
That's
That's kind of my fault. I let it. Yeah, I let it expire. That's my fault. You know. So that's where I'm at right now. Other than that, my birthday just passed. Literally.
Damn.
Hey, he got Thanos snapped.
Full. I checked myself out, but yeah.
Oh yeah, it was
shit.
your birthday yesterday, so happy belated birthday. You know what I'm saying? For anybody that
Appreciate
missed
that.
Happy. Yeah, bro. Happy 86.
Yeah, facts. I'm 30 now, so I might as well be 86.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he countered with the quick.
Welcome to the Dirty 30s.
Facts. That's where I'm at. Other than that, I've been good. I've been watching this anime called Teogonia. Y'all gotta fuck with that shit.
Yo,
Called
yeah,
what?
you were telling me about
It's
it.
called Teogonia.
I gotta go.
Yeah,
check
that shit is good.
Yo, real quick shout out from Isaiah because I didn't read this in the chat earlier, so I'm gonna read it now. He was like, when it comes to today's title, and I'm gonna ask you about that too, Vosto. But when it comes to today's title, he said, "Yo, I have a different version of this misguided faith, but in the end, my best friend became a bro code violator, and the girl I like, she is for the streets." So
Damn.
he gave us the cliff notes, but we get it.
Right.
So Vasta, today's topic
Yeah.
is misguided faith, and so the question of
Right.
the day is: when is a time that you had complete faith in someone and they let you down, and they did not live up to the standards that you had for them?
Damn. If I go too deep in this, it's gonna get real. It's gonna get real somber in here, bro. Nah, but this girl I used to talk to, so she swear, like, all right, so in the situation, she swears certain things happen, but like when I think back on it nowadays, I'm like, she wanted the shit, and she was for the streets, and I'm gonna keep it at that.
All right.
She was fucking with some nigga. I'm not gonna go too deep into it. It gets dark.
Nah, that's real. So your story is similar to Isaiah's. I'm guessing.
Basically.
You get the good ending. You got the bad ending.
Is there a good ending, bro? In this situation?
Parallel universes. There always could have been another way. You ever look at that scenario? You're like, man, if
You're
I had
right.
just
You're right.
done this, none of that would have ever happened. You know what I'm saying? You got the bad ending, but
You're
somewhere
right.
in that story there was the perfect ending, the true ending to that story.
Fuck that nigga then. Fuck that nigga in the parallel universe. I hate his guts.
Oh,
Bro, I would go to war with so many of my parallel universe selves because I'm like, yo, man, y'all over here living the lives that I wanted. There was so many times in life I'd be like, man, if I could just get this, my life would be perfect. And then I didn't get it, and I was just
Facts.
like, whatever. But I'm just like, if I ran across that dude, like, oh, that's the version of me that
It's
won the
on site
fucking
in your parallel
lottery.
stuff. It's on site.
I'm gonna beat his ass.
It's on site.
because they on straight you all time. I am nobody's bitch.
That's the
You are all
version
my
of me
bitch.
that married my high school sweetheart. Oh man, I'm about to go fuck his world up.
Pop up on a nigga like a devil on the phone. Hey, what up, gang?
But yeah, okay. So
Oh,
we're gonna move into, I guess, the last topic of the day because we just getting back. I didn't really have
All
too
right.
much to talk about, but I feel like this was already a kind of a good episode. So we could wrap it up with the last title or last topic, which is something lighthearted. It just came out yesterday, so I figured we could talk about it. But the Switch 2 just dropped. So is any of y'all
hey.
one? Any of y'all interested in that? What's the word? Switch 2 just dropped last night. I heard somebody got knocked out in one of these lines waiting on it.
Wow, that's crazy. Oh, a switch? That's bugged out.
Yeah, I don't know where it happened, but I heard they started squabbling in the line and homie got dropped. They had to call the paramedics out there.
Eventually.
Man,
I ain't in no rush though.
And you got your ass beat and you don't get a switch no more?
Yeah, he had to spend his Switch money on that
That's
hospital
crazy.
bill.
Shit. If I'm telling you like this, if I would have got knocked out over a switch, I would have pulled up with a switch.
Oh,
But I got my Switch too.
No, you still get to play it though, you know? You would have got to play the switch in the jail. I'm pretty sure they got one. Them niggas hot check now.
Nah, but it's been selling pretty weirdly from what I've been hearing. So the bundle deal with the Mario Kart, that's sold out everywhere. I don't think you'll ever see that again. You know what I'm saying? But the actual console, I heard the console's not selling as crazy as they thought. Some people said they were able to go pick one up at Best Buy and stuff like today. There was the shadow drop. You would think they would all be gone, but people were able to stroll in there the next day and still get one. That says they were kind of on the shelf more than people anticipated. You know what I'm saying?
damn. Probably because they was on that bullshit. No money, you're sweet.
Nah, that's crazy. Oh, think about it. That shit is expensive, and you think about like how much the games are. Niggas is probably like, yo, I ain't copping that shit.
Isaiah's saying, have you read
One
the
more thing
terms
that
and
I heard
conditions
too.
before they release this?
Yeah, that's what I was about to talk about.
What happened?
Nah, what's the terms and conditions?
So basically you kind of don't really own your Switch too. Like they could let's say you violate whatever whatever they set up, they could turn it off. And as far as the games go, you don't actually own the games, like the hard copies of the games. That's just a key to access the online data, but you don't technically own the game.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so you gonna always need some Wi-Fi. They finna get the money up out of everybody.
They wildin'.
Yeah, at least that's what I heard from the terms and conditions. But Isaiah, if you got more insight, please enlighten me.
Yeah, that sounds crazy already. If I pay for it, it's mine. What you mean? In fact, I think there's a law that prevents certain things like that. I've heard something like this before. So I don't even think Nintendo can legally do that.
Isaiah said something.
I would love to research this
You
and
see?
learn more about it. If you mod your shit just
Cards
to
will be
break it.
used.
You go to buy games and they won't be there. You buy the cards for it. The card will be used to download the game, but in the terms before release. You basically just gotta follow the rules, or they'll turn your shit off. That's kind of just like, paying your bills, paying that electric. You don't pay that electric or internet bill, they cut your shit off. You don't own
It's a
the
little.
internet. You don't
It's
own
a little
the
different though.
electricity. It is a little different because there's a little bit. Oh, you know what?
Dang, bro. So you no longer get the chance to sue Nintendo if you have issues with them.
You wait, and now you can't even sue them? Is that in the terms and description?
Yeah.
If you're telling me, hey, if you buy this console, you
Apparently.
can't sue me, that is crazy work.
That's because it technically is not yours anymore.
You no longer have the chance to sue Nintendo if you have issues with it. Okay. If your Switch is modified in any way, they can disable your Switch and also list it in the terms and conditions. Okay, but what if they turn my Switch off and I didn't do anything? Can I sue them then? If they were like, yo, we thought we saw some suspicious activity, so we just cut your shit off as part of our, mandatory, checkup or whatever. So if I find out that they turned my stuff off for the wrong reason, I should be able to sue them for that. But because of this terms and
Be able
conditions,
to.
you're telling me I'm not able to tell me, hey, you buy this console, but if you buy this console, you can't sue Nintendo. I just think that is a crazy concept.
Grandpa, you got your food in your room.
If your Switch is
Your food's in the
modified in
room.
any way, they can disable your Switch. Also, no, if you agree to the terms and conditions before that time, you're still out of luck. But hey, Nintendo has sued for less, so good luck. Look, Nintendo's not going to lose that. I mean, Nintendo's not going to win that. And I guarantee there's going to be some petty white man with a lot of money that has enough money to sue Nintendo, because I am a poor black, slightly above lower class. No, I am higher. I am higher lower class. And I know I couldn't afford a lawyer.
Upper
to
middle
sue.
class.
Ain't no middle class no more. Middle class is good though. Gone. That shit don't even exist.
Class. I am not in middle class. But regardless, I think that the right person could come along and win that case, because I think what they put up is so fugazis. That can't hold up in court. That just can't hold up in court in my mind, from what I do know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, someone should test it, but it's gonna cost a shit ton of money to go up against a powerful company like Nintendo. Because when it comes to court things, people just pay money to stall things out. So you gotta have a lot of money to sit there and withstand the stalling process with Nintendo. But most people can't, because people normally just buy them out. So they're like, what? You're suing me for $5 billion? All right, well, just take this $300 million and then, look the other way, and we'll settle it. You know what I'm saying? And that's usually what most people do, because you just lose so much money when niggas start dragging shit out. But anyway, yeah, hopefully some powerful petty white man comes along and sues Nintendo, and then they'll have to change that.
I was gonna say, like, onto your point, there are Switch consoles nearby, like my house, at GameStop and at Target.
Oh wow!
How can you track where they at?
Online.
Oh, okay.
Like, I just typed in Switch 2 near me. They have consoles in stock at the GameStop that's like 2 miles from my house, and at Target.
Nice. I won't be getting one, but yeah, I'm enjoying.
Did you know the Switch 2 is free if you
I
sit
mean,
outside of Best Buy and wait for someone to buy it, and then tell them to give it to you. Make sure you wear your
I'm doing
ski
something.
mask.
What you trying to tell me to do? That sound like a you trying to get me sent to jail.
Look, man.
did you also know that there is a Nintendo Switch version 2?
Wait, what?
Oh no.
Nintendo Switch version 2.
No, I don't know
Now
about that.
it's a Nintendo Switch 1, but version 2. Don't accidentally buy it. If the shit's like $280, you're not getting a deal. That's the Switch 1. It's just the second version of it.
That's
Man, they
crazy.
trying to get
They
every
they
dollar
just
they
trying to
Yeah.
can.
rob niggas.
They trying to get every dollar they can.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought I
do
thought I was
not
getting
be
a deal.
fooled. Nah, you're getting fooled.
Getting bamboozled.
Bamboozle, bruh. That shit's hilarious to me. I love that word.
Well, all right, man. We gonna go ahead and call it a wrap for today's episode. You know what I'm saying? But next week we gonna pull up and we gonna be doing the same thing. So, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I am HBK
Sound
Vakora,
Word
good.
of the word.
the
Y'all
infamous.
check out the anime. I'll tell y'all check out
What's it called one more time?
so we can talk about that. Teogonia, Teogonia, Gonia.
I'm gonna check that shit out
Oh,
tonight.
that's that one that's on Crunchyroll, right?
Yeah, let me know what y'all think. I don't know. I fuck with that. I fuck with it heavy. I don't know why I like it.
All right, I'm gonna check it out.
Go ahead and
Hey,
drop
one
y'all
y'all should check out
outros.
too, though. If you got Hulu, y'all should check out Fable.
What's that?
You should check out Fable. The Fable.
Fable?
I played the
Mabel?
game.
Yeah.
Mabel? Fable? Okay, I got you. I think I played the game before. Yeah.
No, it's an anime, bro, on Hulu.
Oh, it's
called
anime?
Fable. Yeah.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, Zerd. I'm gonna check it out too. You said it's on Hulu, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Fable. All right, cool.
go ahead and drop y'all outros, and then we will wrap up the episode.
It's your boy Just Josh, the Carolina King. You can only catch me here, and I'll see you next time.
It's your boy, Great Grandmaster Guru. You know what I'm saying? Straight back from the Shadow Realm. Have to fight some demons, but you know I'm out here shining like a motherfucker. Make sure y'all use y'all sage and, you know, get your sunlight. Peace, love, and bless.
It's your boy King Vasto. You know, broke for 2 weeks, but I'll be alright. I'll survive. I see. Hopefully, I make it back to the next pod. You know, I might be living on the streets, but I still call y'all. I see y'all 2 weeks.
We'll be here.
We'll be here tonight.
Yes, sir. And then you got the homie Mellow Blurred and the homie Isaiah Vane. Thank you all for pulling up. You know what I'm saying? And catch us next Thursday. Hold on. Yo, bro.
Whole lot of gang shit.
The night is slow, but your man will keep going. From